This is the second video in the series on plotting. The first video apparently had no sound, I'm sorry to say. I didn't have a little checkbox checked off, so this one now has sound. So what I started with in the first one was a model. Model looks like that. Created the geometry. I went over and just set up for the layout. Now we're going to add annotation after we set up the layout. In A-size, we're ready to set up the layout, and the first thing I want to do is to put a title block in. To put the title block in, I'll type I for insert, and we're going to insert a block. This drawing has only one block, which is the block I used when I graded your drawing, or that somebody used when they graded your drawing. If we go to the Browse button, go down to the R drive. The R drive and AED 110, that's the folder that you go to for things pertaining directly to our class, but because title blocks are used by more than one class, we're going to go back to the R drive and go to the folder called General. Now in the folder called General, there are a number of different files. All the ones starting with T are title blocks. Title block A size inch, title block A size inch architectural, title block A size inch architectural JH, something specific to one of the other instructors, title block A size metric, title block B size inch 1, title block B size inch, title block B size architectural, etc. We're going to take title block A size inch and bring it in. Because of the way this was drawn, you can clear that little checkbox next to insertion point, drop it in place like that, and now you've got a title block that you can fill in. Now we can't see our model. In order to see our model, we have to place a floating viewport on this sheet of paper. There are a number of ways to do that. From the command line, if you type MV for multi-view, it'll allow you to place views in a number of different ways. We only want one view, although you could have multiple views. So we're going to use the default fit option and just pick 2 points. So if I pick 2 points like so, it comes up and it shows me that view. Now, my viewport is actually an object, and I don't want it on the grade layer, which is where it is right now. I want it on the viewports layer. So if I go to the viewports layer, it doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to start by creating a viewports layer. I'll give it a color. Let's give it the color blue just so you can see it. It doesn't matter to me what color you make it. And the one thing you want to make sure you do on that viewports layer is to make it a non-plot layer by selecting that little plotter icon. Now that I have a viewports layer, I can select the edge of my viewport, go to the layer drop down, put on the viewports layer, and you can see that it's blue. If I were to do a preview right now, the actual viewport edge doesn't show up, just the drawing. Now this looks pretty good, but right now it's a random scale. And the random scale is identified right down here where it says 0.461805. And the reason it's a random scale is that AutoCAD will just do a zoom extents whenever you create a new viewport. So zoom extents looks just like that. But it's not an actual plot scale. We have to select a plot scale. So if I come over here and try 1:1, discover, well, at 1:1 this drawing is so big that it's not going to show up here. So we have to try something else. Well, maybe 1:4. 1:4 looks just a little bit small. Let's try 1:2. 1:2 is not going to fit in there either, so we're going to have to go back to 1:4. So I go back to 1:4. At this point I say, well, that's the best I can do on A-size paper. I want that. I come down to this little status bar here, go to the lock that's right next to the scales, select it, and I've locked that viewport. What does that mean? It means I can't change the scale anymore. I'm just going to move this text out of the way, leave it up there just so you know what we're doing, but that's my object right there. Now that I've got that object in there, I've got my scale set, I've got the viewport locked, the viewport's on a layer that is non-plot. If I do a preview, this is what the drawing would look like. If you zoom right in, you'll see the line weights. And the only thing we have left to do now, at least at this level, is to go and fill in the title block.